Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and just wanted to do some quick client improvement videos here. I think it's always cool to be able to see a before and after from a speed mechanic perspective, and also to just shine some positive light on the guys that have been working really hard here lately and making some improvements within their individual techniques and how that has an impact. So as always, if you like the information, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, share the video if you can, and then if you have any recommendations for us, please leave those down in the comments below and we'll go ahead and get started. So first thing here that stands out with this athlete is on the left side is going to be more of like the improvement, right side is going to be when first starting out. And we can see, one of the things that is a common, I think, myth within the sprinting and really the start phase is really trying to stay low. So we'll get to kind of this position right here, and we'll see a big difference in the ability to get hip extension, right? So you can see maybe a little bit earlier, boom, like right around in this area. So you can see the difference in where the spine is, right? And so you can see here where the hips are a little bit more through, right? A little bit more forward, and the spine is a little bit more upright, where here the spine's a little bit more forward and the hips are not as far through. And that makes it so then as you come out of the first step, this one's going to be a little bit more of a vertical press, where this one's going to be a little bit more of a horizontal press. And what happens here is that then you end up getting very stuck in a downward position, especially when we talk about baseball and like more upright starting position. You don't need to spend as much time going down and then coming back up. You just want to be able to just maximize coming right straight forward and through. All right, so here's an athlete that is having some shin pain when running, right? And just wanted to be able to address the shin pain. Ended up going and having him sprint a little bit and saw some errors within the mechanics. So on the right side is when he was having more of the shin pain. Now he's not having as much of the pain. Big thing that we changed, you can see right away, is just the position again of the spine. A lot more lean forward here, and also a lot more limited in terms of arm action, right? So if you end up not putting very much in your actual arms, that really has an impact on how much force your lower body has to undertake and how much load your lower body has to undertake. So you can see here on the right, much more load, a lot more bending in the knees, right? So that takes a lot more in that lower body, where on the left, you can see a lot better overall arm position, and then also a lot better in the landing mechanics, a lot more extension in the legs, so then therefore not putting as much overall force into the knees, into the shins when landing. So you can see here, he's just landing and had a lot of downward force during that landing, where here he's doing a much better job of working on that cycle to be able to get that through. Obviously, still a work in progress here. This athlete's only 9, but was able to make a tremendous amount of improvement in a very short amount of time. Okay, so both of these are going to be kind of similar just because both of them are the next two. So this is the first one. Want to be able to work on some of the similar things within the spine, and also being able to improve those front side mechanics. But by improving those front side mechanics, you could really see some big improvements. So here on the left, you could see not very much extension with the leg out in front, much better on the right side compared to the left side. But big thing that you want to do when it comes to sprinting is you really want to have a nice reach out in front of you, and just by putting a focus on getting a better reach out in front, was really able to maximize overall extension within the back leg as well, where he's a little bit shorter with that extension beforehand, right? And so really being able to improve the turnover in your leg and your overall leg cycle is super important here. And what you don't want to end up doing is getting too much of your movement being upwards and downwards, right? And you can see here how the shin's kind of going straight down, and then as he's able to work on that here, how that shin's now pulling back behind. This is his last run, but see how his leg's pulling back behind now in comparison to going straight down, right? And that's a huge improvement in terms of foot contact time. It's a huge improvement when it comes to overall power in your sprint when you do that. So I highly recommend. I'll show you another example of being able to make that change. All right, so how he went from 15 to 17 miles an hour in just one session, you can see a big change in overall posture. But big thing is the leg cycle, right? So on the right side, you can see is going to be the improvement, or the first video, and then on the left is going to be the improvement video. So just look at the cycle, very short, has a nice turnover naturally, so the legs are moving really fast, but just going straight down with the legs, not getting himself very much extension back behind. But then we work on a little bit, and now you can see how much more open he is with the stride, being able to get more extension with the leg out in front, pulling the leg back behind him, and really being able to maximize his turnover and maximize that cycle. Again, went from 15 miles an hour to a little bit above 17 miles an hour. So he improved by probably more than 2 miles an hour within one session, just by improving his cycle, improving the turnover. And that's why I say it's always super important to be able to do that. I know I just posted a video about my own 3 mile an hour improvement, and some people were kind of like, thinking that that might be possible. But here we got 2 miles an hour in just 1 day. And so a lot of it just comes down to your mechanics, maximizing your mechanics and understanding what are some of the mistakes that you're doing within your sprinting. All right, so for this one, we're just trying to improve some of the start mechanics. So we can see some differences here. On the right is going to be the improvement video. The left one's going to be the first video. Sorry that the quality wasn't as good here. I think we definitely saw an improvement with the overall position of the knees and the hips, right? So you can see on the right side where he kind of drives those hips underneath, lets that knee drop. So now when he goes and explodes out, he's able to create a little bit more power in the hips. I still would like to see a little bit better position of the spine and really driving a little bit more forward with the hips. But you can see here where the hips don't really go any lower, so he doesn't get any real hip drive there, and a little bit of a knee bend, but not as much there. So now when he lands, here he's landing with a little bit more of some instability within that heel. So you can see how that heel ends up going and sinking down a good amount, where on this one he has a really nice shin angle. I really like this one. So you can see a little bit more vertical with the shin in comparison to keeping that shin at a very, very steep angle, which is excellent. Makes it so that next step he's able to get into a better position from his overall body. Again, shin position, right? Again, a little bit high with the shin, a lot better on that one. And you can see that he really loses that chin position. You want to keep that chin kind of tucked, especially as you're getting started here. Much better job being able to keep that chin tucked on that second one, and that makes it so then as he gets going, he's able to get a little bit more effective transition, a little bit more effective extension on each one of those steps there, right? Where you can see here, is not able to fully get that nice extension as he gets going. He gets a little bit caught up, a little bit too straight up here, where you can see he's a lot better in staying with his drive phase on the right side. So and that's an important part. As you go through your start, you want to be able to transition from your start into your drive phase very, very effectively. And I think this is an excellent video to be able to demonstrate how that can be done in the most effective way that we can. All right, so yeah, those are a few videos. That was just from this weekend that we were able to get. I felt like we had a good amount of overall content from this weekend, so just thought I would go ahead and share it with you so you guys could see it, check it out, hopefully learn a little bit from these videos. I did another video like this a few weeks ago and people seem to like it. I'll go ahead and put that card here so you can see that. And as always, if you like the information, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of different links in the description down below, access to a program. We have different trial things. We have a free ebook. Just go ahead and check out some of the stuff that we're doing. I think we can really help you out if you're struggling in any part of your sprint. We also have breakdowns that are available that can be super beneficial for you as well. All right. As always, thanks for watching these videos, and we'll talk to you soon.